Are you looking for a great place to live in San Jose but want to avoid the usual spots? Or maybe you're just not sure which part of the 180 square miles in San Jose is right for you? Hi, I'm Teresa Wellman with Homeowner Experience Real Estate here in San Jose, California. And today we're talking about the 6 most underrated neighborhoods. With almost 1 million people living here, it still feels pretty spread out and there are still plenty of open spaces because it is just more roomy and spacious than most big cities. Number 1 is Blossom Valley. If you've watched my videos before, you know I've talked about Blossom Valley because Blossom Valley is one of my favorite starter neighborhoods. If you're looking for a small single-family home to get your foot in the door in Silicon Valley real estate, then Blossom Valley is a neighborhood that you should definitely check out. It's located basically between Highway 85 and the foothills, bordering either side of Santa Teresa Boulevard, all the way down to, say, Cottle Road. Now, this is a prime neighborhood for many reasons. Number 1, a lot of the elementary schools are rated pretty well. Like, you're gonna find 6s and 7s in this area, on top of the homes being quite a good value. So it is typical in the Blossom Valley area to find a starter home in the $1.3 to $1.5 million price range. And with those top rated schools, it is a great value. And on top of that, it is one of the safer areas of San Jose. If you watch my video on that topic, I'll link it above. That is very important to a lot of people that I talk about who are coming from a different area or may not be as familiar with a bigger city. They want to know which areas are safe to live in. And one of the big perks, I would say, is it's located near a major Kaiser hospital. It also has a lot of great shopping, including a really new shopping center off of Cottle Road that has Lowe's hardware store, Target, a Petco, so many different large shopping centers and restaurant options that make it quite convenient for you to stay in the community that you're living and not have to travel very far. Now, the downside to this community can be that the commute can be a bit brutal. Highway 85 will get quite backed up, as well as Highway 87, so it really depends on where you're going. Now, if you're lucky enough to work in one of the South San Jose tech companies, then you're not going to have to worry about this, of course. Some of those would include IBM, AMD, Xilinx, Netflix. They're all large companies here in Silicon Valley that have a presence more in the South San Jose area. So those are going to be great places to work, and then that eliminates the con of the commute in this area. Area number 2 is going to be Japantown. Now, I have a soft heart for this area because I've worked with quite a few clients who just absolutely love this community. And when I drive through these streets, I am constantly wowed at how wide and beautiful the streets are, how cute the homes are, and how much fun and flair the area has. It has a little bit of a feel of Willow Glen as far as the houses go, but such a different culture and arts, and of course a Japanese influence in this area. There's a lot of history of Santa Clara Valley and the Fruit Tree Valley of Heart's Delight industry that was here in Japantown. There's a lot of history mixed with modern cultural vibe. It's a very fun place to be. Plus, you're gonna get Japanese grocery stores, really quality Japanese restaurants, some fun Japanese festivals, but just the vibe and the community sense in this area is really strong. For example, Roy's Coffee House is a hub of the community where people go to hang out, and it is crawling with people, especially on the weekends or on a weekday morning early. One of the things that I love about this community is you can find some really cute 2-bedroom bungalows that are single family with no HOAs, your own space with a yard, but making it more affordable because it's just a small little bungalow. And you'll find a lot of newer construction townhomes in this neighborhood as well, built in 2003, 2005, 2010. So a good selection of newer construction as well, still benefiting from this fun community. And San Jose Marketplace Shopping Center is super convenient. The highways are very convenient because it is located just northwest of downtown San Jose near Highway 87 and the 101 intersection. And that puts it very close to the airport, which can to some people be a very positive thing to be next to a large international San Jose airport, or maybe a negative because you are going to hear those frequent planes flying overhead. But That being said, there's still a lot of really strong benefits to the Japantown community. Now, the price point for this area is you're going to find single families around 1.2 to 1.4 million. A 1950s bungalow can be on the lower end of that in the 1.2 range. And the townhomes and condos are going to vary, but around 1.1 million or so, depending on how many bedrooms and the size that you're looking at. Area number 3 is going to be the northern section of Almaden Valley. Now, this is located definitely in South San Jose off Highway 85 in Camden, way back against the foothills near Coleman Avenue. And why is this a popular place or an underrated community? I will say first off, it is the look and feel of Almaden Valley with larger yards, a little bit bigger houses, but not the drawback of having to drive way back 10 to 15 minutes off the freeway. It's much more convenient to the freeway, and it still has really top schools in this area as well. It's also very convenient to shopping and parks and restaurants right there in the front of Almaden and the community. There's 2 major shopping centers right at Redmond Avenue and Meridian, as well as Maccabee and Almaden Expressway. So if you live in some of those neighborhoods there in northern Almaden, they're walkable to those shopping centers. There's a big long park that connects all of these. So it's not even walking on streets, you're walking on beautiful tree-lined walking paths. And there's 2 elementary schools that feed this northern section of Almaden Valley, so making that also quite walkable and the community really tight around those neighborhoods. And people live in Almaden Valley because of the top-rated schools, because it's a very established neighborhood, more of an outdoor lifestyle, and a great place to raise a family. So those top-rated schools do bring in a lot of young families who plan to stay there and raise their families. It's where I live, and I've lived there since my daughter was 2, and now she's 17. So that's very typical. People will move into Almaden Valley when they have preschool-age children and stay there through their college years. Now, one of the cons to this area is it's not Leland High School. A lot of people come to Almaden Valley wanting Leland High School because it is the top-rated high school in the area. And if you can't afford the Cupertino School District, you can jump down to Almaden Valley and get the same level of schools for a much more affordable price. But the northern section of Almaden Valley does not go to Leland High School. So that is one downside to this northern section. And Almaden Valley overall, you know, the commute can be a little bit brutal if you're driving, for example, to Apple Park headquarters. Can be a 45-minute drive from Almaden Valley, but in the northern section of Almaden Valley, it's just 45 minutes. If you're living in the back of Almaden, where Leland High School is, you're adding another 10 to 15 minutes to that commute route. That being said, big companies like Apple and Google have several bus stops throughout Almaden Valley to bring workers into the office, so you don't have to sit and drive that commute. You can actually sit and catch up on your email while you ride the commute, which is kind of nice. So the price point in Almaden Valley, especially in the northern section, is going to be in the 2 to 2.5 million. If you get further back into Almaden Valley, closer to the Country Club and in Leland High School, you're looking at closer to 2.5 million plus. So that is our area number 3. Now, area number 4 that is very underrated, I'm going to pull out Berryessa. Now, this is an area that has been redeveloped a lot lately, primarily because BART has come all the way down into this section, and there is a huge transit center to allow commuting to different parts of the bay from this Berryessa neighborhood. It is located off of Highway 880 and 680 near Montague Expressway, and there is some older established homes that were built in the late 70s, all the way up to newer condos and townhomes that have been built very recently within the last 10 years, with new shopping centers and a lot of development going on. Not only does the new development really make it attractive, but also the schools in this area, there are several elementary schools rated a good solid 7. And so those are attractive to the families who are looking to maybe not have to commute as far from a southern San Jose location, but still be very central and still can get a bigger 2,000 square foot home for around $2 million. But they also have smaller, older homes, much more affordable as well. The older homes you can find in the $1.4 to $1.6 million range and a little bit smaller. And those larger homes, like I mentioned, are $2 to $2.2 million. And the newer townhomes and condos are going to range from $600,000 all the way up to $1.2 million. I've even seen some up in the $1.4 and $1.5 million, but those are 3 and 4 bedroom, really modern, beautiful conveniences that get those prices up there higher. So huge price range of availability in this Berryessa neighborhood, which is one of the reasons why I think it's underrated, because there is a full price range and a lot of great amenities in this neighborhood. One of the cons of the Berryessa area, I will say, is it's pretty congested. Number one, there's a lot of high density newer development going on, and the roads, well, they haven't really expanded. And there's a lot of highways coming in and around this area. So this is where a lot of the traffic will merge together, and it just can be slow going there. So it does really help every mile or two that you're closer to the office or where you're going, because it's just gonna be slow going through this area most of the time. All right, neighborhood number 5 is New Almaden. New Almaden, is it the same as the other Almaden? No. So New Almaden is in the back of Almaden Valley, like even further than what I was talking about behind the country club before. It is really unique. It is an area that a lot of people don't really realize is there. It's back behind Quicksilver County Park. It used to be an old mining town, so there's a lot of really amazing history back there. But what makes it so attractive, it is a small town community feel. And you think, in a city of 1 million people, how do you get a little small town community feel? That's even almost like country, like you're living out in the trees on a creek. Well, you do in New Almaden. And not only do you get that really unique feel, like you're completely stepping out of Silicon Valley, but you get top-rated Almaden Valley schools. So in this community, you will get Leland High School and Bret Harte Middle for a much more attractive price point, because it is a little bit further out. So that is the con, is you're gonna have to drive another probably 15 to 20 minutes off the highway to get back into New Almaden, but you're saving a lot of money by buying a property back there. Most of the homes are gonna sell in the 1 million to 1.3 million range. There are some that are a little bit larger that might go a little bit above that, and there are some beautiful estates up on the hills with views that can sell over 3 million. But that small town community feel that I'm talking about, that's there along Alamitos Creek, is priced in the $1 to $1.3 million range. But another con, I need to be honest with you, is that this is in the fire zone. So hazard insurance for your property is going to be very expensive living back here. So that will bump up your monthly cost and make it not quite as affordable, but still, with the Almaden Valley schools and price point entry being closer to $2 million for a single family, to be able to get a single family around 1.3 million is a huge deal by just driving a little bit further back. And you're still only about 10 minutes from the grocery store or so you're not that far out, still within civilization, and you have that support of the really small, fun community. Neighborhood number 6 is Cambrian. And you know, maybe this isn't very underrated or unknown, but I bring it up because it is such a sweet spot for people who are looking for value, commutes, and top-rated schools. A lot of the areas that I talked about today have one or more of those that could be attractive, but Cambrian has them all. Now, it makes it not quite as affordable. We're gonna see most homes in Cambrian from 1.6 million well up to over 2 million, but the majority of homes are gonna be 1.6 to $2 million price point, because Cambrian homes were built in the 50s and 60s, and therefore they have a little bit smaller footprint for the home. So typically going to be a single story ranch style, except for a few pockets where there are some pretty nice 2-story homes. And those single story ranch style properties are going to vary from 1,100 square feet up to say 1,600 square feet or so. So you're going to expect to pay at least $1,100 a square foot in this neighborhood. So a little bit more expensive than the general San Jose or Blossom Valley areas, even more expensive than Almaden, dollar per square foot wise. But the commutes are going to be easier because you're located right there at the intersection of Highway 85, San Tomas Expressway, and 880 or 17, depending on what you want to call it there. So it is a nice sweet spot. And not only that, it is located among a lot of really top communities and areas. If you like to go to farmers markets or restaurants or a night out on the town, Cambrian is centrally located between downtown Campbell, downtown Los Gatos, and downtown Willow Glen. And then there's also the Prune Yard, which is just outside of Campbell, that is a nice hub for restaurants as well. So convenient from neighborhoods in Cambrian to get to any of those really awesome downtown restaurant kind of places to enjoy a night out. And I mentioned this has top rated schools. There are some pockets here where, for example, Carlton Elementary is rated a 9, Union Middle is rated a 9, and the high school I think is rated an 8 at Lee High School. So really strong schools all the way through. Could be a little bit smaller house, but you still have really good value and a very reasonable price point for the Silicon Valley, San Jose area. Also very well kept and safe neighborhoods. A little bit more of a city vibe, not quite as suburban as you would find in Almaden Valley, for example. And the biggest con I would say to Cambrian is it's just not as affordable as it used to be, and it's harder to find a home in the 1,800 to 2,000 square foot range. It's doable, but it's just not the most common thing. So here you're gonna find generally a little bit smaller homes to live in the Cambrian neighborhood. So if you're thinking about exploring some of these underrated neighborhoods in San Jose, I would love to speak with you. Call or text me at the number and we can connect. Or even better, you can scroll down to the description below and book a 15-minute call right on my calendar so that I will give you a call and we will have 10 to 15 minutes together to discuss your plans and talk high level of what might be a great fit for your budget and your needs. I'm Teresa Wellman with Homeowner Experience Real Estate. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love working with my YouTube viewers and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care.